Hello there, this is Retro Spirits Gaiden, and this is Metal Black on the Sega Saturn. Now, Metal Black is a horizontally scrolling shoot 'em up by Taito, and this is the Sega logo. Oh, lovely. And I recently bought this back from Japan. I saw it on the shelf. I have owned this game before, back in the day, on the Saturn. I sold it because I didn't like it so much. It was a bit of Hobson's choice, really, in Japan when it came to Saturn games. I needed to pick something up, and there just wasn't a lot around which I could afford or took my fancy. And this being a known quantity to me, I just thought I'd go for it. It was about 25 quid, something like that. And it's a shoot 'em up. Shoot 'em ups are my favourite genre of game. Ooh, got some inventory style graphics. Oh, it's spinning in 3D. Oh, that's blowing my mind. That's some sort of pre-rendered thing, isn't it? And so I thought I'd give it another chance. It's not horrific. It's just a bit. It's like a proto Darius, G Darius. It's not as good as G Darius, and it's a bit ugly. It's got mad music though, so props to it for that. It's just a bit ugly looking. Like there was an era of Taito arcade boards, and I think Gun Frontier was one of them, where everything looked dirty, like what you're looking at here, just like scuzzy colours and kind of pixelated, digitized images, and it's just not that pleasant. This game does have a lot of Darius looking sprites in it. It's probably part of the Darius universe, but we have the word Mel there, and it zoomed off, and we've got some warpy Metal Black logo with what looks like a megalodon's jaw biting it. So there's fishy based things in here. We've hit the options menu because that's always the best way to go. Ooh. So I've got a sound test. That's very exciting. I'm playing this through a Model 1 Saturn, Japanese, into a FrameMeister. Got nonsense chat. Into a FrameMeister, and the FrameMeister for Saturn games is a bit annoying. It doesn't sync properly, and it's different per game, so it's irritating. You might see a couple of jerky frames in here. I unfortunately blew up my open source scan converter, my OSSC, by plugging a wrong power supply into it, and now it doesn't work. And I've got, apparently you can repair it, but I've got no electronic kind of knowledge whatsoever to be able to, or equipment to be able to repair it. So unless I can, I don't know, repair it by thinking really hard about fixing it and then hitting it with a hammer, it's broken. In this game, you've got this ugly spaceship with a big kind of bomb under it, and your power-ups are those little sort of DNA blobby things, and you collect those, and it gives your ship chunky lasers, chunky blue lasers, badly drawn chunky blue lasers, and you get a special beam weapon. So you hold down a button, and your lasers use all the energy that you've collected from those genetic blobs and turns it into a big old chunky laser, which you can wipe the smiles off fishy faces with, like literally fry their eyeballs out. And they don't like it. Oh, they don't like it, no. And the bosses also collect the freaky blobs. See here, I'm going to try and adjust the sync settings because the jerkiness is annoying me. So the boss also fires a massive laser at you, and you can have like a giant laser off. And if you keep collecting the genetic blobby things whilst you're firing your laser, it keeps it charged up, and you can keep going. You can keep frying it until you blow the back of its head out with your power blasts. So we've got some sprites here which look like potatoes with legs, and we've got some robots. The robots were actually okay, but the green things just look like little green potatoes. Some of the sprites are used in the Darius games, or have been lent from Darius to this game. This is why I'm saying it's probably in the same Darius universe. We have a screen effect which is like inside of a cloudscape tube, which is fine, and now we've got a green sky. So this is the boss. He's a genetic monstrosity, as you can see. It's kind of like a wasp crossed with a crab or something. I don't know. It's got two little legs sticking out the front there. He's going to fire his massive beam. I'm going to fire my massive beam. We're going to see whose massive beam comes out on top. Now mine's blue, his is pink. I think I'm going to win. Yes, I've turned him red. Although he's still firing at me. To me, that part there, that's the best part of the whole game. The bit where you blow up his face with your laser, and then it goes kind of silhouette-y, and then there's like a massive explosion, and it's kind of cool looking. This is the bonus stage. It goes into sort of a weird 3D mode here. So you watch some scaling sprites scaling for 30 seconds. It's not that exciting, but it does break up the action and extend the game's length. I've never completed this game. I never sat down and went through the whole thing. There's limited credits, I seem to remember, so you have to actually get good at the game. And maybe I've been on level 4. But like I said, I never enjoyed the game enough to sit down and become great at it. It's not horrific, it's not the most hideous game, it's just a bit low effort maybe in some ways. The music is kind of quality, I'll give it that. Like, it's sort of a Zuntata soundtrack, I think. And there's some nice tunes on here. That's the best bit about the game. We're still getting some jerky frames there. That's irritating beyond belief. If only I'd have looked at my OSSC and put the right plug into it, we wouldn't be in this situation, would we? Yeah, so good music. The sound effects are all okay. The gameplay's alright, although it does a lot of things where it'll send just stuff onto the screen randomly at points that fire diagonal lasers, and it's very confusing. On this stage, actually, at the end, it happens at the end of this stage. Loads of things come on, like you can't shoot anything behind you, there's nothing to help you out in terms of missiles, so you can only shoot forwards, and the things come on from up, down, left and right, and obviously the up, down, and left and right. Left is a problem, as you can only fire right. So these randomly moving sparky balls are very difficult to hit, and actually they've got an AI thing in them which makes them come towards your ship, which is irritating. Look at these sprites, these are all the crap. This background does get better in time. There we go. Oh, look at that. Now it's gone all nice. When they just start with that nice background, because it just looked horrible up to that point. We've got a sort of a devilfish thing here, which we blew up. Yeah, more crappily drawn sprites. It's not up to Taito's usual high standard, but it's not an awful game. It's fine. It's just a bit of a B grade game compared to, say, Darius Gaiden or G Darius. It's not as good as those. And it's a standalone game by Ving, as you saw, and if you were to buy it from an importer, you'd probably be paying 35 to 50 quid, maybe even a bit more. There's two releases of this game. There is a initial release and a budget release. This is the budget release, and it cost me about, like I said, about 20. It was in the 20 to 30 quid bracket. Do I regret it? No, I didn't have a lot. I didn't have a lot of choice really for Saturn games in Japan this time I went, which is unfortunate for me. Like I can't afford, say, £1,000 for Hyperdual. Hyperdual's not worth £1,000, and so that's what I was up against. And that's why I bought Metal Black again. This boss is kind of cool. I don't mind this background, so it does have some visual highlights. It's just a shame that a lot of it is a bit tatty. Alright then, it's an alright game. I feel like I'm being a bit too down on it. It's fine, it's just not exciting. And that's that. Alright then, ta-ra!